All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the video. So this is not a tier list video. Don't get confused because I'm on Pride Win or anything. So you might have already known from that title already. We'll talk about how Honkai Star Rail is not doing good and if in different parts of the game. And yeah, basically the game has been in a little bit of decline. Not saying the game is not successful anymore or it's gonna die or anything because that's far from the truth, but there's been a lot of stuff that they could do better and such. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that and I'll explain my opinions on it and explain a lot of it. Basically, I have so much to talk about. I'll just yap and keep going. Basically, I have a lot of talking points here, around three, six, around nine talking points I have like wrote here. So yeah, let's go through each one of them and explain bit by bit why I think, and it's kind of truth as well, how HSR is not going in the right direction. It's actually going in this direction from a long time, but yeah. So let's just talk about the current situation now. Basically, to like counteract the power creep situation here, they started buffing the characters this patch actually in 3.4 right now. But there's some, even after the buffs there still is a problem the way they did it. So for example, if you're out of the loop or anything, they've buffed characters like Blade, Silver Wolf, Jingliu and Kafka, right? We don't really know the impact of Kafka's buffs yet because the new character that's coming out, Icelandus, where is she? So this character, she is coming out in next patch. She will be a dot character basically in Kafka's team, replacing Black Swan. We already know that. And Saridra coming out, that's a different story. But for now, we don't really know the full story of how the Kafka's buffs turns out. It's for now, I already can tell it's pretty good already, and there is not really much problem with her. The main problem that I would have with the buffs is with Blade and Jingliu here. So if you don't know, Jingliu got changed from attack to HP scaling completely, like 100% HP scaling, and Blade had dual scaling in his kit, a little bit of tiny bit of attack and majority HP. So the attack, the tiny bit of attack got changed into complete HP scaling like Jingliu. And yeah, that changed the builds a little bit for Blade, just the planet side, and for Jingliu it changed everything basically. And yeah, they got some kit changes as well, but the things that did not get changed are their light cones. They did not even touch their light cones, and now both of their like for Jingliu especially, the if you see in Pride when they already show here as well, I think, yeah. So Midas light cone is better than Jingliu's own signature. So what's the point of buffing the character if you are not gonna buff the signature as well? What do you mean I pulled a signature and it's not best in slot? How does that even work in the like grand scheme of things? That's for the players that pulled, that's like an incomplete, like what do you say? How do you say it? It's like you buffed the characters, but the players will not still not be satisfied with the buffs and not be happy with it. And on top of that, they got buffed, and Jingliu is still not even tier 0.5. Blade at least got up to tier 1. Jingliu is tier 1.5, right? And a little bit worse than Blade. But that's a different thing. Let's talk about another problem. So after the changes, who do you think is their best supports are? The supports are not from the are not the old characters. Obviously, the new supports that came out are like the best in slot for most of the teams now. That's the problem of like power creep and such stuff, obviously. So there's a team called Wheelchair Team, which includes Tribi. She is of course broken. Cyphera. Cypher. Oh, I said the Cypher name because it's like from the story, and I heard that so much. So Cypher and Hyacinth, of course, three of them are like top tier right now in the game. Of course, Cypher didn't have much pull on her, and really low sales on her because the Fate collab was coming out, phainon was coming out, so she got neglected a little bit. But she's definitely slept on. She's really good. So this is the Wheelchair Team. Trivi, Cypher, and Hyacinth. With these three, you can put any of the DPS and they will work basically. That's the team basically. So, and that's not the main problem here. The main problem is with Blade and Jingliu. Both of their favorite, like best teams became like Sunday, Trivi, and guess what? Hyacinth E0 S1. Not only the E0. The E0 is like nothing. You need the signature light cone. The signature Litecoin is so valuable for the team that you have such a big performance like loss on them without the highest in signature. So if you don't know, let's go to the signature right here. So this signature, right, every time and without like reading all that, if I had to explain in short what's the main thing, every time hyacinth does anything, it will like take 1% of each of the allies HP, which like give blade one stack of his follow-up attack, which is like crazy. Every time hyacinth like goes and does anything, basically basic attack, ultimate, all that stuff. And as well as it's for Jingliu, it's even a bigger thing because Jingliu's kit got changed to every 20 times all the allies lose HP to for any amount. Like you just have to lose HP total of 20 times among the three allies. Basically, it will give her one stack of the skill, one stack of the CCG skill. So she already can drain HP per turn, or like one time per turn for like three allies. So that's three stacks per turn. But this Litecoin will give her additional like double stacks of the of like what she can already do. So like six stacks per one per her turn and one per Hyacinth turn. That's like insane for the stack of the skill, CG skill. So that's why this Litecoin is like one of the best option, like best upgrade you can get for them. So overall, after the buffs, basically you have to pull for new characters in Litecoin. So that's like not very satisfying to hear, right? You your characters, your old characters gets buffed, and now to fix their best teams, you have to pull new characters and their support and like a healer Litecoin basically, which is not like something I'd be very happy with to be to like for me personally. If you have different opinions, let me know in the comments. But that did not quite sit right with me. I had to like get that out in this point basically. But yeah, and the power creep has been an issue for like a year basically. It was already an issue since when Jingliu came out in 1.3 or 1.4, I don't even remember. Since when Jingliu and Imbibitor Lune came out, power creep was already a thing from back then, and from then already Sila started going down basically. And yeah, power creep has been a thing ever since, and it always became worse. First time it took a big hit on Acheron, then it took another big hit on Firefly basically. Yeah, Firefly, and the next time it took another big hit on feixiao. Feixiao was so crazy, you could basically with a E0 S1 team kind of, you could zero cycle on auto. She was that good of a unit. You could zero cycle on auto. That's crazy to think about. Zero cycling on auto. And the next time, of course, it broke again when Herta came out and all the stuff. And all of M4 has been a disaster basically on in terms of power keep. Except for phainon, basically recently phainon has been not that powerful to be honest. His performance is quite on the same level as other characters. He did not destroy everything as everyone thought, kind of. Even though the animations are like from the animations, if you look, you would think he like power crept everyone, right? It's what it was not the case. Phainon is like on the same level pretty much. Is not crazier than other characters basically. So yeah, that's a good thing, right? That's definitely a good thing. But yeah, I won't yap on this point too much, otherwise the video will be too long. So basically the power creep problem has been a really bad thing. Hopefully without the with the constant buffs, if they provide constant buffs to the older units basically here, I think this batch needs a buffs in the next, and they kind of they need as well. Imagine I'm saying this character needs a buff and Jingli got already buffed. That's not good. I don't think that's very good. Jinglu, why is Jinglu on tier 1.5, man? That's crazy. Okay, so moving on to the next point after power creep. So we have, let's talk about some Google Play ratings here. So I came across a tweet today here, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Basically, I went to Google Play Store. I already saw this 3 or 4 months ago, but we should talk about this today here. I thought we should talk about it today. So here in Google Play Store, the ratings of different various the big four basically. The Genshin has 4.5, right? If you talk about the other ones, ZZC is like low 3.9, right? UI is pretty good 4.6, like only zero point 0.1 above Genshin, though pretty similar from both. I think Genshin has been improving a little bit. Like except for the Natland, like Natland, some stuff in Natland aren't that good, but overall they have been improving a lot in terms of a lot of things. Not saying it's like perfect or anything. They have, every game has their problems kind of, but yeah, they did improve a lot since last year. UA has 4.6, best of the four, and ZZ is 3.9 because the launch of them wasn't that good because of the TVs. And after 1.4, 2.4, 2.0 didn't hit as hard. 1.4 was really good, and then they kind of slowed down. We'll see what's happened through this game in the future. I think this game might get out of the big four soon when another big gacha releases, like an Anta or something. Like, yeah. And then after all these three, HSR has like a really low rating of 3.4 for as of now, right now, and it might even go down after the Fate collab ends, because a lot of the people will play the event and they will like think it's not that good, right? So the story wasn't good, only the characters were pretty impressive, to be honest. Both the characters kit performance and all that stuff was very good. The fact that Archer is free and Archer is better than Saber and is destroying everything, that's like really good. Granted, you need Sparkle for him, but yeah, that's beside the point. So HSR has been in 3.4, but that's not the end of the story because it's 3.4 now. So this guy, I found this post actually. I found this post and wondered when this was the case. Then I checked immediately, it's 3.4 now. So I checked the date, it's like 2.9, right? It's in April 6th. It was posted in the community of Tectone. So it was April 6th, it was 2.9. So it has been pretty worse in the past, and they maybe this might even be I would think if this was like a recent few days ago, I could say this was bot reviews or something, but seems like review got improved a little bit after they announced a lot of the stuff like Fate collab, one of the characters being free and all that stuff, and the characters getting buffed as well. Maybe all those things pumped up the ratings a little bit, but it's still not going as good, right? Compared to the other gachas. It's 4.5, Genshin 4.5, ZZ 3.9, and it's imagine being lower than ZZZ. You get my point, right? Imagine being lower than Zenless Zone 0. For HSR to be lower than Zenless Zone 0, that is actually crazy. Uh, uh, there are some reviews here as well. Powercreep is an issue in the most, if not all, gacha games. And this is the worst case so far. It's impossible to clear any main quest using old characters. Okay, I really love the game at heart, but it's becoming too hard. My okay, a lot of gacha games has a lot of casual players, and if you bump up the HP too much, it will have a problem for them. They only play for probably the story and stuff. So yeah, HP in place and also a problem. The recent MOC has been like double HP of like the last one or something. And in few patches ago, the MOC 10 had higher HP than the last MOC 12, right? So it was few patches ago. I don't remember the exact timing. But yeah, this is something to be worried about. It's 3.4 is actually quite low for a gacha game. For this for this big of a gacha game, it's quite low. 3.4 is not that impressive. Whenever a game like goes this low, they like freak the fuck out and give try to give a lot of compensation and stuff. This kind of things happen during anniversary and stuff, like the Genshin first anniversary and such. So yeah, so that, and let's move on to the next point, which is not one of our big problems right now because it's did not became a big problem, which but it was in the launch of it. So we'll talk about the global passive right now. So basically everybody thought it's like it was a bad thing. Like, I'm not sugarcoating, it was a bad thing, but at least they only gave it to one character and did not continue on the trend, right? So that's at least a good thing. So they give casters this unique ability where if she even wasn't in the team, you could revive one time when you first one time in the battle, and you immediately need to on the in between one turn you need to either heal the character or shield the character who like died basically, and they will be resurrected and they will be back in the battle. This isn't something game breaking, but it's also not actually bad because the game has been progressively going hard and hard and hard, so the enemies hit quite a lot, so it does trigger quite often when you when you try to do with different teams. It does quite like proc quite often. You die sometimes basically. So that's not the point. So the point was they did not continue on the power like not power keep, they did not continue on the global passive like cycle. They only gave it to Castrois and like turned it off. Like no other character after that Gary got it. Even though we saw some stuff about a lot of the other characters having that as well, they literally created an extra space for the global passive to like stay even inside the battle. So we all thought a lot of other characters might get it too, but that did not happen. That's a good thing for the game. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, maybe a lot of the people quit when the global passive came out as well as some of the big content creators. So they might already saw some decline in player base. So after the global passive, even though the cash race banner sold like crazy, right? So her animations were crazy. She was good, very good in the game as the as DPS. And yeah, she had a good design, of course. So the character sold for the story as well. But after that, they might have saw some decline and some like feedback and stuff to not add the global passive. Might have. I'm pretty sure they already know what's going on. Like they surely they are not unaware or something. But yeah, that's actually not a bad point. Actually, global passive being like not being continued, that's a good thing. So let's talk about the next thing right now, which is the spending event basically. So if you let's just search it up here. Spending. Where is my keyboard? Spending event. I did not even type the word, but that's all right. The keyboard was so far from me. Okay, so this was the spending event, right? So yeah, this was in Castor's release. So this was one of the things that turned people off probably because they gave a global passive. They also gave a spending event. They gave Castor's a pull like a loading animation basically. So when you load into the game, phainon also has it. So when you load it into the game, it directly gives you a chance option to go to pulls, basically go to warp directly, and it's kind of predatory. It's not that bad to be honest, in my opinion. But yeah, the spending event also rubbed some people the wrong way. Personally, I don't think it's big of a deal. You spend some money, you get some extra stuff. It's what's the big deal, right? It's not like it's not like something crazy, but it became crazy when the patch didn't have so much events, and it's like the spending events and stuff are the only things you could see in the section and such. So yeah, that's like not an extreme problem, but it's something that also contributed to players not being satisfied. So yes, and let's talk about the a different point now. So the stories patch by patch, let's talk about that thing. So when Amphorius released, they said the stories were gonna be a little longer than usual, but they did not change their storytelling style. So what I mean by that is Honkai Star Rail's characters and their basically the characters does not have a good like emote style and stuff. So like let's say when you tell the story, right, the characters don't move as much, they don't emote as much. They only had two or three different positions that they could move in, and they had like arms crossed and like one position going forward, one position going sideways and all that stuff, looking this way, looking that way. It like looks really stiff, right? It's not very engaging with the story. It also the like sometimes looks kind of lame as well. So that's like the big problem with that. And if you talk about the stories patch by patch, so the 3.0 story was really long, and the only good thing was the boss fight with Nikador. The Nikador boss fight has a really good, of course, the two things that HSR always been doing best, and like always a 10 out of 10 is like their music and their voice acting kind of and dialogue. Even though the starting of 3.0 and starting of Amphorius did not have English VAs, they were on strike, like god damn it. But yeah, the VA, the voice acting a lot of the times are great. The music is always a 10 out of 10. They never miss basically. Like if someone tells you the music is bad, it's like they're basically lying, like literally. Even I don't have anything bad to say about the music. Even I am telling, when I'm listing out all these problems, I can like acknowledge the good parts, right? The music always been a 10 out of 10. The voice acting most of the times, 90% of the times are good. Maybe some are bad for some NPCs or something, but most of the times the VAs are actually pretty good. We'll talk about the voice acting I have a different point on the voice acting as well, which like even though the voice acting is good, something else is bad. Okay, let's talk about that point right now. I guess that's like important with the expression and emote stuff. So after like talking about the patch by patch story, I'll talk about that basically. So the 3.0 was pretty big basically, it really very long. We did not reach a lot of the conclusion. So in the start of the story, when we met Aglaya, say, and we in the fountain we got told the history of Emphorius, and it did not show us anything. If you remember, it did not show us anything. It's just a black screen kind of thing. It was kind of bad. So and the entire 3.0, the only fight, the only Nikador fight was good with the music, and most of the thing wasn't really that engaging, to be honest. At 3.1, we got Mighty basically and Tribi. This patch was also not that crazy. We met the Flame Reaver. We fought him two different times. The fight was good between Mighty and Flame Reaver. Mighty got the power of the Stripe. He got the core flame. He became the demigod of Stripe. At the end, he defeated the Flame Reaver, basically trapped him there. And yeah, that's basically it for the story. It had a good ending, like good payoff for the big quest. So it did not feel as bad as 3.0. But it was still heavily bloated with the dialogues. It could be a lot shorter than that. I'm 100% sure you don't need that much time to tell a good story. You can definitely make it shorter. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know why they like it does not have to be this long basically, and if it's that long, make it worthwhile to for our time. So yeah, so after 3.1, 3.2 came out. 3.2 was also see the pattern. 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, maybe all of them were done and like crafted in a similar time, so that's why all of them kind of similar, right? All of them are like very long with 3.2 and 3.1 had good payoffs, but 3.0 did not, kind of. But yeah, the and same problems with every single story, which is less expressions, characters movements very stiff, lip syncing is not that good. And after 3.2, the story started becoming better. So in 3.3, we had the big boss fight with the Sky Titan, which was good. And when Hyacinth came out as well. So this is the Sky Titan. Basically, if you've done the story, you would know the boss fight was very good. The music was very good. It was basically like a Cocolia fight with a good music as well on the background, which was like after a long time we got a fight like that, which was nice. But this 3.3 story was actually good, like actually good. And the it also had the same problems actually, even though it's good, right? So the problem was basically the dialogue definitely can be shorter. The when we before we fought the big titan, we went through a lot of like past memory bubbles and such, and we saw the past, and that portion took like an hour. That definitely can be shorter and told in a better concise way, and a way better way to tell the story basically of the past. We don't need 1 and 1.5 hours to tell all that basically. But and 3.4, of course, best of the Amphorius cycle. Basically, this story was very good. It was actually, if you would say, it was the peak of Amphorius, I would say, like best Amphorius, best story of Amphorius, kind of like basically the patch of phainon, right? This story was actually good, kind of. So it did not have a lot of the problems that the other one have, which is like bloated dialogue. It did not have that. The dialogue, like pacing, I thought was good on this one, because this was also a little bit shorter than the other ones. I think it was around 4 hours, to be honest. Not saying the 4 hours is not that long. It's pretty long. 4 hours is a lot of time, but still, it was not as long as the other ones. Like, so that's actually good. That's good. And it also had quite a bit of cutscenes and stuff. Plus, voice acting was good and all that stuff. And so the only issue with 3.4 would be like the characters' expressions and stuff. So that's like the main part that takes away from the Honkai Star Rail storytelling, I'd say. Basically the characters models are so stiff and they don't flow with the story basically. So I have an example here. Do I need to talk about anything else here? Let's see the thing here. Okay, so let's talk about this right here. So as I said, they had good voice acting, right? They do have good voice acting. Let's talk about this here. So
She decides to stand before me.
the music should be good here. Okay,
So naive.
I mean the voice audio. Okay, just see how Cypher talks and look at her face. Basically, whatever he says, it does not match with the expression on her face. Basically, she has such a good English VA. She does such a good job on the English voice acting, her VA, and it does not, the character expression does not do the voice acting justice at all, not to the and also not to the story.
Tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
Straight face, no expression, no emotion, literal straight face.
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question. The endings have...
Okay, phainon not say doing anything, it's like makes sense because that's the point. But for other characters, it's not the point basically.
You won't, but I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me.
Okay, so you see the little smirk that could be animated in such a better way and not like this. Like it looks so straight and so like cheap. It can't even anymore.
No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Decision.
We'll see.
This is new.
Now,
Go, Cyphera. But for you, to discuss how many more than
Is there anything else of her?
without batting an eye.
Like look,
My homeland.
this is my strongest point. Like look at this. Just hear how Cypher talks and how her face looks.
I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye?
What is that, bro? What is that? They did not even change anything, like straight face the entire time with same expression entire time, and the voice acting doing fantastic job, and it's like what? It takes a lot away from the story and the like immersiveness of the story and such. But yeah, that's like it. That's all I wanted to say about the expression and emotes and stuff, like characters doing emotes and emojis. So that's like the point. Okay, so the next point I would say is this is not a problem right now, like not a big problem. And right now after the 3.0, pretty much this was a problem when feixiao released basically. So you remember when feixiao got released, if you don't know, the cutscenes were so small that every time a cutscene start, it will be like piss you off basically. So just look at this. This is the 2.5 one. Let's take a look at the 2.4 one. We met feixiao at 2.4 I think, and at 2.5 the boss fight came out basically. honkaistarrail 2.4. Okay, so the 2.4 has had like 3 or 4 hours of quest and it had 5 minutes of cutscene. But look at the cutscenes basically. Let's go here. All right, just see how long the cutscenes are. One by one, I'll just show a few. This one is actually a bit longer than usual because this is the yearly introduction, but this is that besides the point. But even that's pretty low. Okay, I was wrong. I kind of forgot. This was not long. Okay, I was wrong. The fight starts here, I think. Yeah, the fight starts here. That's like 15 seconds of nothing. Only we saw a few people running from the monsters and Yanqing coming in. It's like here. Let's say it started from the 18, right? Let's see. Character introduction.
Thanks for the help. Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
Okay, so the character introduction was longer because they need to sell the character, right? So that was longer for that reason. Every other normal ones are short. Just keep watching.
Is this
This
the
one
product?
started with Lingsha. Even if this is Lingsha's like not introduction, we already saw it in the story, like in dialogue. Look, short and done basically. Short and done, like not letting the moment breathe, really short. This was pretty good. This one was good, by the way. This one was good. No complaints about this one. They were fighting, it was pretty long, then feixiao stopped them. Basically, it was good. Okay, I was actually wrong. A lot of it is not even full cutscenes actually. So it's not actually 5 minutes, it's actually shorter. Here, this one was also all right. Let's take a look at another one.
Prepare for action.
They start fighting there. Hule comes out. She dies. Okay, now this one, just look at this one. Just end. This is the ending of the quest on the climax. On the climax, they are leaving us on a cliffhanger. This is the final cutscene. Not this one. This one is the final cutscene. Let's see. It started on 27. The cutscenes were so small. Each time a cutscene started, it made me mad every time because I was so excited for feixiao to come out, and she was really good in the story as a lore. She was a general. She was a foxy and all that stuff. She looked good. Her full design is fantastic, and the cutscenes being that low is like it like really rubs me the wrong way basically. Now look at this one. Hule is going to devour, like eat this guy basically. Just see how long this took. Of course they couldn't show it, but that's different. And he becomes a wolf, and it's done basically. Yeah, it's done. 14 seconds literally. This starts. This was pretty good. Okay, this was also pretty good. This is also 14 seconds.
Madam Yukong.
Another fight. How long does this take? This was a little bit over 30 seconds or 40 seconds, I think. You get the point basically. In the middle, some of it had bigger cutscenes, but I'd ask for more basically. I do not. I am not very satisfied with this low amount of cutscenes, and basically not only low amount, low duration as well. Like I want a little bit, let the moment breathe a little bit, show a little bit more in the cutscenes. So that way, like the more cutscenes you get, and if it's a little bit longer, you get more immersed and let's say you are not paying very much attention. Whenever a cutscene starts, you start paying a bit more attention, and if it ends like in like 10 seconds, you'll be pissed basically. It will make you angry. There's nothing else. So yeah, let's talk about another thing here, which is kind of funny. If we just, I remember the guy's name basically. There's a guy who was being very hypocritical basically. Let me just search the name if I remember correctly. I think this was the ad of them. Yeah, this guy basically. Look at this post. Oh my god, this guy. Where is the post? Did he delete it or something? Yeah, this post. They did not delete it at least. Okay, look at this post. This post has 1.2 million views, 650 likes, 500 retweets, 119 comments, and if you go into the post, it has how many post engagements? So okay, if I check on my phone, it had like 400. When I checked, it had like out of this 533 retweets, it has like 480 quote tweets. So 480 post engagement basically. So people do not agree with this thing. It's like a Delulu fan basically. So what they're saying is character design HSR 10 out of 10. Okay, Okay, not gonna lie, HSR character design is good. So like all these characters, character design, not bad, right? Why would you call this bad unless you are just like being a hater for no reason, right? Designs not bad, right? They're good. It's a turn-based game, so animations are also god tier basically. So much, like, so many good animations, but when the problem comes when the like the person showing hypocrisy basically, slightly plain but executed very well. Okay, Natlan Sumeru Inazuma ruined it. Like what, how, how? Like, I don't get it. What do you mean Natlan? You mean you don't like it, right? You mean your favorite is HSR and it ruined it? What? Nothing ruined it. All of them are great. And I mean, not all of them. Obviously, like I can't even find words anymore to describe this level of stupidity, man. And let's see for Uwa. This is the biggest hypocritical point I came across. So this, okay, this also I don't agree. But stupid. Okay, fine. But let's see the Uwa one. The Withering Waves one is good detail, but they need to put some clothes. The audacity to say that when you say HSR designs are 10 out of 10. So I'm not saying HSR designs are bad because I am not saying that. And I also don't think UA designs are bad. But let's compare the points. They said good detail, but they need to put some more clothes. So that must mean they don't like a bit like sewing characters, a bit revealing characters. So let's take a look at some of HSR's designs. What is that? This character does not look very like they have a lot of clothes on. They have their entire belly out, full legs out, and all the stuff. They have the upper boobs out. Like what? We have other characters as well. Biggest offender is like this guy. What is Mighty? Bro is literally shirtless. What is this guy talking about? We have another example right here. Let's see. Ooh, these people, man. These people. Look at Jade basically. Okay, we don't have the full picture here, but she has her full legs out. She has her bra showing. So like, what is bro saying? Let's talk about something else now, like some other character here. Let's talk about Black Swan. You know, I don't know why Pride did not. Okay, they do have Black Swan's picture. So you know, who needs more clothes? Who? Basically, who? You have Agalaya basically. So if you she has the biggest cleavage in the game, biggest one. If you didn't know, like that's good information, right? Biggest cleavage in the game basically. Like what is this guy talking about? We have Himeko here, and what else? We have Rappa here. Look at Rappa, man. She's literally wearing a very short like pant. I don't know what that thing was called. Entire belly out and all the stuff, full legs out. Like what? With silver wolf with like a high, are literally like, oh my god. I cannot deal with stupid people, man. I cannot. I can't. I get angry. I get mad. I get mad. Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Basically, what I'm saying is this guy is stupid. I'll make a different video on the court retweets later. But I will talk about the courts later in a different video. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe for that. We have Kafka as well, not to mention. So like I don't get the point of saying good detail, but they need to put on some clothes. Like what the fuck do you mean by that? When you rate HSR a 10 out of 10, but who has this problem? But this is your explanation basically. Like what? Yeah, let's talk about. So I want to talk about that because I wanted to express like stupid like Delulu community point. Like that was one of my talking points basically. A lot of these like people will like blindly defend their favorite game, and like they will not accept any kind of criticism, even if it's fair and stuff, even if it's true and such. So yeah, they'll just see this and say like, why does that matter? That doesn't matter as long as we enjoy the game and stuff. Like yeah, that's true, but it's still like true that there's been a decline in player basically, and dissatisfaction with the player base recently. It's not like everything just because you are enjoying and you like it too much, everything else is wrong, right? So yeah, so let's talk about the last point for today, which is like the most important one of them all, in my opinion, for me basically. So all of these patches have like events and such. So let's take a look at the 3.4 basically. So this is our first point basically here, 3.4, right? You go here at the end of the trailers in the YouTube of each of the games. They show which of the events are coming, and take a guess how many events are coming. Okay, you might already know, but yeah, so only two events are coming in 3.4. That seems kind of low, right? It is low. There's only the Fate collab, and which is staying for like 3 patches. There's the Fate collab, and there's another event which is like the origami bird. This one. You have to match them and play Candy Crush here. That's basically the event. A Candy Crush event and the Fate collab. That's the entire patch. There's nothing else. Literally nothing else. There's the banners, and there's a collab event and a Candy Crush event. Those three things, the entire patch finished, and 1 day story quest. That seems really bad. Like, where's the content? 2 events and that's it, basically. And not to mention, this is different, like in 3.3. In 3.3, or I don't even remember if it was 3.3 or 2.2. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you are sure about this. I'm not really sure about this. Either in 3.3 or in 3.2. The first half has had only one event. One. The first half of the banner, either the Castor half or the Hyacinth half. I don't remember which one actually. I have no idea. I forgot actually. It's been a little bit and I already forgot. I don't really remember. Either the Castor half of the phase or the Hyacinth half of the phase had only one playable event and nothing else. It was so boring, so like long. It felt really long and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of depressing to play, man. Not gonna lie. I think the video became too long by now, but I had to talk about like 9 different points, so it's all right that we can become long. If you watched till this long, thank you for watching. Basically, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know which one of the problems you think are the worst, basically, and if you still enjoy the game. I still enjoy the game actually, even though all this point I have all these problems with the game. I still enjoy it for what it is. I play the story every patch, I do the moc and all that stuff, but still kind of bad to the game going down this path when you enjoy a game, right? So yeah, I don't like watching stuff like this. Like, I don't like a game I play go like 3.4 in rating. That doesn't feel good. It feels kind of bad. Hopefully they improve some of the stuff and the player retention comes back and such, and the games becomes better, man. But let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. See you. Bye bye.